Hi everyone! Welcome to this live. It's been a while that we haven't saw each other. It's been a rough month for me, like I had so many things to do and I actually find a little bit of time to do this live with you today. So please take a nice cup of coffee, tea, herbal tea for me because it's a little bit late, so no caffeine for now. And we will start shortly. There is very few people, actually there's only 2 people today who ask for feedback. Please feel free for the next time to send your work, even if you send it in advance. If it's something that I haven't reviewed in the past Q&A, you will be able to see, I will be able to actually review it anyway, so don't worry about that. If you think about it at some point, just send your work and I will make sure to take care of it in the next Q&A. Hi Raven, good to see you too. So yeah, I thought about taking a little bit of time to review each and every one, and eventually maybe since we have a little bit of time ahead of us, I don't know, Raven, how it would work, but maybe if there is some last minute people that would actually submit their work, maybe they can find a way to send them to me on Discord or something like that. I don't know, just an idea. Otherwise I would love at the end of the live, if there is not more people, to actually take the time to show a little bit of something of my work, not to promote myself per se, but just because there is something I find interesting regarding feedbacks on this piece. And so I think it would be very interesting to talk about it a little bit, if it's okay, of course. Raven, tell me, you're my garden right there, and you tell me if I can do things or not, obviously. Hi Prasad, welcome to the live. So yeah, let's start. Your coffee, drink your water, people, drink your water, eat your vegetables, but it's not the time, but think about it. And okay, let's go. So we have the work of Rushikesh, I think it's how you pronounce it, Rushikesh, and so you submitted this work. So let's see what you have to say. Hey, I find it really difficult to draw this jeep. Can you please tell me how to draw when an object is in such perspective? There is so many shapes like squares and cylinders comes in. Okay, so first things first, perspective can be a little bit hard, And I know that on the Paintover Academy you can find courses on something more in depth about perspective. So make sure to check it out and to look what they can tell you about it. When you have a perspective, one of the first thing that you need to see is where the lines are going. One of the things that I often do is I actually take a brush with a very bright color, like big red, you know, something that I can see from a distance, and then I will just trace the side of things, and this will allow me to actually see where the object is going. Shortly, in perspective, you have what's called the vanishing line, and it's because everything is vanished at that point. It's so small that everything kind of looks like it goes to the same point, and then you will have things coming from there, making object, you know, in perspective. So a little bit like that, for example. Let's draw a beautiful square, you know. And so this is called the vanishing line, and those this is called the vanishing point, this point over here, vanishing point, and those are called the vanishing line because they basically are the side of your object, and as things go smaller and smaller again and again, then things become very small, and so this side will be smaller than the side which is in front, you know, and well, it creates this distortion of perspective, but you know the drill. So basically what you need, this is something what I do often, is that I try to find where is my vanishing, you know, where is my horizon line. Sorry, this line is called horizon line, my bad. I have to translate everything from French to English in my head, and technical term are chef kiss to be confused. Sorry about that. So yeah, you do that on that side, and you do that on the other side, which would be something like this, I think. Yeah, more inside. And when I look at it, sorry, even though I can't, especially sometimes I can't always see, you know, the full where the line is really, but I think it's probably somewhere over here, you know, somewhere right there, maybe a little bit lower. And so it's something that will help you tremendously when you draw in perspective, is to place those lines, because those lines will tell you how things are supposed to be. What advice would you give to the 18 years old version of yourself as an artist? Oh, so many. I will answer to you shortly, just ending a little bit of this explanation, and then I will answer to you. So now that I have my base right there, I'm going to just trace a little bit, you know, the very basic side, so I know where it's supposed to go, you know, like that. And then I will take this here, and I know this is supposed to be where my jeep is supposed to be. And then on top of that, you can actually try to construct a little bit better. So start with very simple shape, you know, your car here is basically a big square here, and then another square here, you know, a rectangle. And for the ellipses, I will talk about it just after. So yeah, you do that. If you don't want to actually you know, trace your reference, you can just take those as a reference right there, and to decide to recreate it next to it. So for example, right there I will be doing something like that. Do it there. And so I will, okay, so my line is over here, and I see that I have lines going that way and that way, more or less, you know. But again, it's easier if you can actually see the the dots, you know, where the line are connected to this line. I mean, if you draw something and you can actually place your line directly on the horizon line, it's way easier. So yeah, okay, at some point you will be able to do it simply by looking at it, but first of all it's very important that you actually learn a little bit the construction of it, because it will help you tremendously and made you able to avoid mistakes. So yeah, like that, then like this, like this. As you can see me, I'm not tracing, like I'm not making all my line go in the distance anymore, because I kind of have the eye for it now. But please do it. This is very important, and I spend a lot of time actually doing it, because it's something that you need to train your mind to actually, you know, you have to get your head wrapped around this concept, and it can be a little bit tricky if you don't see the end of it, you know. So like that, like here, and then here. I'm looking also at the proportion, you know. I'm trying to say, okay, so this is this distance right there. So yeah, and then like that. I see this is too low, like this. Okay, and this is supposed to be like so. And yeah, it will be way easier. This is for the squarish, you know, square structure, or for anything which has a square base, you know. For example, a pyramid would work the same way. So like that, and then you will just trace from the center something up, and then every corner is connected to the top of it, you know. But for something which is round, you need to learn how ellipses work. Again, go on Paintover Academy. I'm not sure of which specific course right now, but Raven, if you have the info, I would be glad. And otherwise, I will take the time to send you a message if you want. Please contact me on Discord and I will find the course for you. But basically, check it out and see the course on perspective. I'm pretty sure there is one. Because this will also tell you a little bit more about how ellipses work. Sorry, and basically ellipses are a little bit complex in perspective. What you need to understand is that an ellipse has two main axes. An axis. I don't know how you say it. Well, the axe is. The definition of an axis is very simple. It's actually something that goes in the middle of something. So, for example, if I was drawing, let's say, this goofy shape, I would have something going from the middle right there, you know, and it would be an axe. Simple as that. It's just something that goes in the middle. So, an ellipse has two axes. One which is the longest, going from the very where the ellipse is the further away. Hello, baked turkey, welcome. So this is the major axis, major for biggest, for the Latin person right there. Major is the biggest, is the major axis, and you have a smaller axe which is right there, which goes from the narrower part of the ellipse. There is something very important, is that this side is equal to this side and this side is equal to this side too. So it's very at the very middle of things. And this minor axe, sorry, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, so sorry about that, is actually giving you the direction of your ellipse. What it means is that when you are drawing a face, this face is looking, if you place eyes on it, it's looking at a direction. And if you change the orientation of the face, this face will be looking at another direction. And so your ellipse is kind of it's kind of a flat, no, it's not kind, it's a flat surface, and it looks at a certain direction. In that case, it's looking up, and you know where it's looking thanks to this minor axe. Obviously the major axe is way easier to find, so that's why we talk about this one. And the minor axe has something very nice, which is it's always 90 degree right there. Always 90 degree, no matter the perspective, no matter the orientation of things, it's always 90 degree. Those axes are not affected by perspective actually. So in your case, you have a wheel which is looking in a very specific direction. It can be subtle, and over time you will be able to look at them more easily. You can see the major axe, which is right there, and you can see the minor axe, which is again 90 degree, looking that direction. And this is how you're able to actually place things in perspective. Even though your wheel can be in a different perspective than your car, then you will just have to follow the minor axe, and then you will have an extension of that which will provide you with the rest of the wheel. So this is how you do them. I hope it was clear. I know it can be a little bit tricky to understand that. I would also give another quick guide to help you know how large is supposed to be your ellipse supposed to be. Is you simply need to place this area in a square. So I'm gonna take a very bright pink, and you place the square in perspective. In that case, it would be something of that sort, I think. Yeah, more or less like that. And this square doesn't inform you on the actual direction of your ellipse, but it will give you an overall idea of the size. En anglais singulier axis, pluriel axe. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you so much. So yeah, so it's axis, okay, and axis. Okay, I think I got it. Thank you. So for the square part, again, this is in no way an indication of your ellipse direction, because this square doesn't tell you if your ellipse is supposed to be like that or whatever. It just tells you more or less how large it's supposed to be. So this combined to finding the major axes here, thank you, will help you to actually draw your ellipse correctly. Okay, I hope it was helpful, and for the rest you need to apply the exact same principle with the rest. I see you started to actually do the box around the head. This is a very, very great way to tackle the subject, because faces can be complicated and they can be simplified to simple object too. And yeah, you just need to continue to do that. I know it can be a little bit tough. Don't worry, practicing and practicing again and again will help you tremendously to actually reach this understanding furthermore. So I hope it was helpful, and yeah, this will be all for this feedback. A little bit before going to the next person, a little bit on the question Josh asked: what advice would you give to your 18 years old version of yourself as an artist? Well, first of all, as an 18 years old, I was just starting drawing, because I was a drama kid, you know. I'm doing theater stuff, and I was woo, all over the top all the time. I wanted to be an actress, but then bullying happened. So whatever is in the past, but I changed my objectives. I changed my goals, and I became a drawer. I know it's not how you say it, but it's funny to use it. I became an artist, a picture artist, and I think there's three main advice I would give. The first one, which is so obvious, is learn your fundamentals. Learn them. it's not that you have to practice them to the point where you're like fed up with them. You can still have fun and draw on the side the thing that you want to draw, but for please God's sake, learn them and take the time to actually understand them, and to take the time to understand everything, and to see how things work. Because I kind of let them like, oh yeah, I should learn them for a very, very long time, but I didn't, and I lose so many years with that mindset. I was like, yeah, no, I can figure it out, whatever, it's just my style, and yeah, no, I was just making things ugly, and I was frustrated, and at some point you're like, the first year, like, yeah, whatever, I'm still gonna learn, but after 4 years, 5 years, you're like, why am I so bad? Like, this is starting to be discouraging, like you feel like you're just not good at it. And the truth is that you're not bad, you just haven't learned. And so you need to take the time to actually learn them, and to apply them to what you want to create. It's also something very important that I don't hear so many artists talked about, is that take the time to apply things that you learn to the thing that you love. For example, to me, I was a very big character type of artist, like character art is my thing, I love anatomy. But when I started to learn a perspective, well, I'm searching something on the side to show you. I applied it to characters because I absolutely wanted to understand how things were working, and so I did those, for example. Applying perspective to characters, because this is what I wanted to do, and so I tried to implement what I learned into my characters. But trust me, I've done plenty of squares and ellipses to the point I was like, what the hell am I doing? So yeah, it's kind of like, you can't reach the top of a mountain without actually giving some work on your calves and your legs. And if you actually want to reach the top of the mountain, please stop trying to convince yourself that you will be able to fly, because no, it's sad, but the only way up is to actually learn the rules. And the more time you spend not actually confronting this idea, the more time you will spend being frustrated with your art. So this is the first advice. The second would be, start with perspective. This stuff is everywhere. This will help you tremendously. And even though I knew anatomy, I knew characters, I knew clothes, I knew a ton of things, but I didn't know perspective. And when I actually started it changed completely my way of approaching drawing, and it blew my mind how things were were actually way simpler than I thought. And even though perspective can seem hard, please do the work and it will be just fine. And the third advice would be, take goddamn references. Take as many references as you can. Like it's simple. If you have a question about something, you should take a reference. You should take a picture of yourself. It takes 2 minutes to actually take your phone, place them on your, like in front of you, do a little do the little timer, and just take your reference, go on Pinterest, find things. If you don't know Sketchfab, for example, this is a website where you can actually look at things in 3D. And for example, you're like, oh, I want to draw boots, but I have no idea what the orientation of how it will look like. It's okay, go on Sketchfab and you will find a ton of 3D model which you can turn around and look. Oh, okay, so my character is facing that way, the feet is facing that way, so the boots is supposed to look like this, and the opposite boots is supposed to look like this and like this and like this and whatever, Just take as many references as you can. You can even find like anatomy here, and look at things and see how things work and turn around them and take so many references. There's for each moment that you struggle, there is a reference which has the answer to your struggle. So take more. If I can give you a quick view of some of my recent scene with the references, I'm searching for them. Okay, so this is a very quick. This is an example. As you can see, this is my head. I look terrible, but I took so many references of different posing of myself in different position, and I look stupid, but it's okay. Hi Hamza, Paintover is now a girl. No, I'm just responsible for the Q&A part, so don't worry, David is still there. Whoa, I love this tool. Yeah, Raven, it's a really great tool, Sketchfab. And so as you can see, I took as many references as I could. I took references from people who have, it was for splash art. And so I took references from the best and, texture references, like Pinterest is a wonderful tool. Please go dive in and type how to paint metal, how to paint hair, how to paint everything, and go on Paintable too. On Paintable you will find a tremendous amount of things which will be explained to you on the DPA Academy on how to paint everything, So yeah, just take the references and learn how to do things. So yeah, that's pretty much my advice is learn your fundamentals, start with perspective, and take as many references as you can. This is absolutely not cheating. I don't know any respectable artist who doesn't take references. I don't know any. And I would go even further in my speech. If you don't take references, this is how you know someone is not professional. Not trying to shame, but what I mean is that, for example, in the industry, if someone is not taking references, you look at them like, what the hell are you doing? So it's not cheating. It's to the point that you will look like a fool for not taking them. It's how not cheating it is. So yeah, take references, you guys. Not to sound too dramatic, but my bad. So Rushikesh, I hope it was helpful. And on to the next person. So we got the Italian. So the Italian asks, let's see what you ask for. I've been practicing diligently. Okay, so I'm gonna try that. Like, what does it mean? With diligence. Okay, I don't know this word. Diligence meaning assiduity. Okay, so careful and persistent work of effort. Thank you. You just made me learn a word. Okay, so I've been practicing diligently, but there's some problem. Here are a few. Compared to the visual lessons, I seem to be overworking my practice project. 2, I have not found the best brush for blending. Okay. 3, the lessons are very well presented, but I want it now. Okay, I got it. For the lesson part, I understand how it can be frustrating to, go small step by small step, but it's part of the journey. You have to be patient, and I know it can be hard. For the compared to the visual lessons, I seem to be overworking my practice project. I'm not sure which lesson you're referring to right now, because I'm not sure to identify which lesson specifically this is related to. I'm guessing the cactus, but I'm not sure about that. Otherwise, for the blending personally have a blending brush which I find pretty goddamn great, but it's not coming from Paintover. It's coming from another artist. It's a paid brush, so I won't be able to give it to you. Not sure how to help you on that one. I can eventually give the information of the said artists of the brush pack, but again, I won't do it except if Raven is like, you good girl. So I'm gonna use the brush right there, which is this one here, and I found this brush pretty down cool, because I think it blends very nicely. Like if you look at this, like this is 32%, this is way too much. I generally do 16%, and this blends like marble. Like this is so soft, you know, and I find it pretty efficient. Look at that. Damn. Bam. Bam. So yeah, other than that, your piece is pretty correct. I understand why you seem frustrated with your blending technique, because it doesn't help you conveying the volume. And so yeah, I think your brush, like the dots, I understand the effect you're trying to make. I have a blending brush which is quite similar to that one, which is this one. It's a dot mixer, and it creates little dots like that. But as you can see, I'm using it like like I use it small, you know. I don't use it like super big, you know, otherwise I will have too much texture and it won't be blending very well. So I don't know, but I think the dot mixer might be the one that you're using, because the texture seems so similar. And if it's not, it's probably something of that sort. You need to, if it's the case, you need to be gentle with the size that you're using. You need to be gentle and to, you know, do it over and over again. And if by doing it, you are actually, let's say I'm 100% here, if by doing it you're like, oh, this is destroying everything, well, it's because your intensity is too damn high. Please, just lower it down a little bit, and it should work way easier. Okay, so like that. There. But other than that, I feel that your sense of volume, I mean, is correct. I mean, you placed correctly every shadow. I think what you would gain eventually, as I'm seeing that, for example, here you have the light on the side, you could gain from actually trying to do a little bit of cast shadow over here, you know, like this. There, like that, you know, because the sun is casting the shadows, you know. If you haven't started to learn this part, make sure to continue your lessons, because it will be in the, I know it's in the next level of the DPA Academy, so continue and you will be there in no time. We'll add a little bit of, but this is, you know, there it's my realism speaking right now, you know, like, oh, you know, the shadow should be a little bit darker because it's underneath, you know, and oh, here too, you know. So yeah, there you go. And other than that, you had the basic ideas, so keep going that way. Fix a little bit your brush. Again, if you don't know where to find a better blending brush, send me a DM. I can eventually give you a link to the website of the brush I'm currently using. And other than that, you basically had the whole idea of it. So yeah, for the skull, there is not much volume in it, but I don't know if you were trying to actually make it work in volume, or rather to make it look like you know, the neon poster you can have, you know, like the neon thing you can find in bars, you know, which is super cool. But I'm gonna try to do a quick paint over in the both case. In the case you wanted to do it in volume, you need to take more into consideration your how do I say that, your, well, volume. So yeah, I'm making a layer in product mode, and I'm going to just take everything which is on the side and make it in the shadow, you know, like that, like that, like that here, and boom, volume. See? And yeah, pretty much it. And a little bit like, oh, this is more in the shadow because this is more underneath, this again too, this too. And you already have way more volume than before. And then you can use a little bit of the light part, you know, like here, 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 here again, and like that, and again, boom, volume. So it's really, you have to take into consideration the fact that you have a change of orientation of face, you know, like this is going that way, and this is going that way, and this is going that way, and this is going that way. And so what it means is that everything which will be facing, you know, that direction, that direction, that direction, and that direction, everything which will be facing that direction will be lit a certain way, and everything which will be facing, my bad, that direction will be in the shadow. And so you need to deconstruct the volume in your head before actually painting it. So yeah, and just in case you wanted to make it neon, I have something for you, I think, to be able to make it neon, is that you need to have a dark background. So something very dark like that. There. There. Then you need to take, like, for example, let's say a bright blue. It's a very bright blue. Up, then. And I will do a hard layer all around. There you go. I'm doing it quickly so you understand, but you get the idea. You need to have a dark background so that the bright color will be visible and seems very bright. And then what you will be doing is you will take a layer in color dodge. Just give me a second, because this is not color dodge, this is the other one just on top of it. It's English Photoshop name, and I'm looking at densité couleur moins. It's called it's okay, it's the difference between color dodge and linear dodge. Okay, so this is not linear dodge, it's color dodge. In French it's the same name, except one is called densité couleur moins and the other one is called densité couleur moins ajout, and so it's confusing. So for you it's simple, it's color dodge. And so what you need to do is that you will take a darker color, but very saturated. You will take a soft brush and you will just, not too dark, and you will go on top of it like this. And boom, shaddown. All of a sudden it's all glowy and stuff. There you go. And if you want to add the extra, what you can do is you can select your layer, go to selection, modify, I think it's called contraction, or reduce or something like that. Like reduce it a little bit, then do another layer and paint it white, and boom, and ta-da, you got a neon. So yeah, I don't know which one it was, but in case you know how to do a neon now. So yeah, that's pretty much it, and I hope I was helpful in any way. Again, for the blending brush, make sure to ask on the DPA where you can find a better brush for that, and if it was just a matter of size, make sure to make it smaller. So yeah, it was the only 2 people who asked me for feedback today, so I hope it was nice. And before going out of this live, I just wanted to show you a little something on one of my work. Again, not to promote myself especially, but just because there is something interesting in it. So it's not finished, so be gentle, okay? This is the work I'm currently doing for the formation I'm doing right now. And basically what I want to show you is something very interesting. So this is a heavy piece, okay? So this is a big one. Okay, so I'm currently doing that. This is something which takes a pretty goddamn time. Like, this is a huge project. I've been on it for more than 2 weeks. 2 weeks full time, so I'll let you imagine how big of a project it is. And basically what I wanted to show you is that, first of all, the evolution. So it was like that, then like that, then like that, then like that. And one of the things that I want to show you more specifically is this. This is the notes on the feedback for one day, okay? So like the feedback I had on one specific day, I showed my work and we show our work every day, and this is the feedback I had for that day. As you can see, there is a lot, and this is completely normal, okay? The formation I'm currently in is called Artside. It's a French course, and we have the chance to be connected to a lot of amazing tutors, and we had a teacher which works with Riot Game. And so as you can see, this is like top tier stuff, and what you can see here is the amount of feedback I have. I had to redraw. I stopped counting the time I had to redraw this freaking arm. I had to take more references, and I at some point I even had to redraw the entire posing because it was off. I think this hand has been drawn like 5 times because this is taking forever, and I wasn't able to actually make it correctly. I think I can show you some of the early render of it. It was looking like this at the very beginning, and then it looked like this, then like this, then like this, then like this. And you don't see all the time I had to actually redraw again and again and again and again this hand, but trust me, I've redrawn it 5 times. So one of the things that I want to show you here is that feedback and making mistakes and having other people telling you, oh, this needs to be moved, this is incorrect, this is not right, it's completely fine. You don't have to like, oh no, I'm not good enough, I'm just terrible. No, it's normal. You're not some kind of machine. You're not an AI, and even AI can't freaking do hands correctly. Now they can, but whatever. They had to learn, they had to learn how to do them correctly. So you're not an AI, you're not a machine, and you will make mistakes all the time in your drawing. All the freaking time. You will have a ton of things which would need improvement and which would need to be better and which will take you time, and sometimes you will have to redraw something 3 times until it's correct. And even after 3 times doing it, you will be like, it's okay, but I think I should redraw it again because this is not good enough, and it's fine. Like, I'm guessing that you are looking like there's a lot of people, and myself included, I was looking at artists which are amazing on the internet, like, oh, this guy is working for Blizzard, oh, this guy is working for Riot, he must be like so good, and he must make no mistakes. Oh, to the contrary, like, they do plenty of them. They have sometimes, I know, because the teacher we had talked about it, sometimes they have to redraw the face completely because the perspective is slightly off, and they have to redo it 3 times completely because we are not perfect. And so it's completely okay to have as many feedback as there can be, and it in no way means that you are a terrible artist. It just means that you need to learn more stuff about your craft, and the more you will be working on it, the more you will have, the less you will have feedbacks on more obvious things, but the more you will have feedbacks on very specific detail, like, oh, your cheek should be like 3 centimeters more to the left, or your eyes is a tiny big, and stuff like that. And so the feedbacks never ends, don't worry. But this is something that you absolutely need to understand, is that your value as a person, as an artist, is absolutely not connected to the amount of feedbacks that you will receive. It's connected, like, you are a great artist because you are making art that you love, and not because that you make mistakes and that things can be improved. This has nothing to do with how valuable you are to making the place a more beautiful place, by bringing what's inside your mind and bringing it to the word and making it work and learning stuff and having fun. Just by doing that, you are a very important part of this world. I know it sounds super cliche, I don't care, but it's important, it's more people, like, think about it, if more people were actually trying to learn how to draw and to make beautiful pieces instead of fighting to one another, like, the world would be a wonderful place. And so you're part of what makes the humanity super cool. So be kind, and it's okay to make mistakes and to need feedback. You will need them all your life. So yeah, this was my little I Miss Universe message, like full of love and stuff like that. And I just thought it was something very important to say. So yeah, it was a very short Q&A today, and that's why I took the time and the liberty to actually give a little bit of a message, but this was my message for the day. So yeah, I will end the live shortly, but before that, don't forget to go check the DPA Academy. Again, they have a ton of course which will help you tremendously. I know that's people who are actually able to send their work for me to feedback them, to give feedback. Sorry, French, English, blah, whatever. The people who can send me their work are in the DPA Academy. And honestly, I've reviewed a lot of the course that they are doing. This is a pretty great, platform to actually learn art. And I've learned myself a lot of things from one specific subject here, which is it's a challenge which is once or twice a year, which is the 1-week portrait challenge, and I've learned a lot thanks to this lesson. So please make sure to check it out, because this is something which is really, really great. So yeah, this is spitting. Thank you, Raven. So I hope it was a wonderful night for you. Please have fun, learn your fundamentals, but have fun with them, and sometimes take all the feedbacks that you had and toss them away and be like, I'm gonna place them right there in the corner right there, and I'm not gonna look at them for 2 weeks, and have fun drawing and enjoy yourself, and when you will have stupid people telling you that, oh, but you should be like working on stuff. Obviously stupid people should have a French accent, because obviously we are very condescending. Joking, but we are. So no, we're not. Are we? I won't tell. If there's like mean people like, oh, but you should really work on your stuff because this is absolutely not great, and how dare you pretend yourself to be noticed, tell them to go drink a tea, to be polite, okay, and have fun, and don't care about everything else, just have fun, have fun learning your craft, and it will be fine. So I hope you enjoyed this Q&A, and have a wonderful evening, everyone. Bye. See you guys. It's funny how you can still hear me now, but I'm hidden because this is the end of the Q&A. So